Playing with fire, a woman walks into a bar only to have her car torched outside of it. We'll show you the terrifying moments when flames shot out and the arsonists on the run. And a wave of mourning sweeps the country after the death of 41st President George H.W. Bush, with plans in the works to honor him before he's laid to rest. And you'll want to grab your jacket before heading out the door today. Ashley Conroy shares a chilly Weather Now forecast.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Nia Wong. Our top story this morning, a group of vandals light a woman's car on fire, burning it beyond repair. And it's all caught on camera. It happened near Cimarron and Farm Road Friday night. 8 News Now reporter Shakayla Alvarenga shares the woman's message to those who carried out the act.
We saw 4 people walk by the car, 1 walk back, leave the 3 people standing out in the parking lot, light something and throw it into the car.
The video is grainy and it's hard to make out who they are, but it did help Kim Book piece together what happened to her car.
Nobody knew what had started the fire, and it was all speculation, but the car was in mint condition, very low mileage, so I didn't believe it was an electrical fire or anything.
She was inside of Lucky's Lounge having a drink with her brother Friday night.
I was in the bar about 30 minutes, and we noticed through the windows that the car was on fire, and flames were shooting up all from the interior.
A day later, there are still signs of the blaze in the parking lot. Book's car is now totaled.
Just to be malicious when kids are out walking by on a Friday night at 5 o'clock in the evening, not even midnight, it wasn't parked on the side, it was right in the front of everything. Just to be malicious and light it on fire is unconscionable.
She shared this message to the person seen in that video.
This is not funny. This is not just something you play with. This is dangerous. You could have hurt a lot of people. You're just lucky you didn't.
Shakayla Alvarenga, 8 News Now.
Police also need your help tracking down a little girl who may be in danger. 2-year-old Aaliyah Walker was last seen with her parents in North Las Vegas, but this was back in August. Months later, officials found her parents all the way in Texas, but police say they would not cooperate with the investigation. They claimed they didn't know what happened to Aaliyah. Detectives are hoping the girl was left with somebody else and are asking anyone with information on this case to call them at the number you see on your screen. An early morning traffic stop ends in a deadly police shooting downtown. This happened around 7:30 a.m. yesterday near 18th and Sunrise. Metro police say the officer shot the suspect after he tried to fight the officer. They say the suspect even kept fighting after the officer tased him. He was taken to UMC Trauma, where he later died. This is the 22nd officer-involved shooting in Metro's jurisdiction this year. Turning an eye to weather, get ready to bundle up because temperatures are dropping this week. Ashley Conroy joins us with her Weather Now forecast. Ashley?
Hey there, it's a beautiful Sunday morning, lots of sunshine all around our valley and our region, but it is quite chilly out there. By 9 o'clock this morning, we're looking at those temps in the upper 40s, around 47 degrees. By noon, we're going to see those temps in the mid 50s, possibly not even reaching 55 degrees for our high today. Then looking at those low 40s again by 6 o'clock this evening. But the biggest thing that we are going to have to deal with today are those wind gusts. Remember, we had those winds picking up in our valley overnight, and those winds are going to continue to pick up at least through noon today and then dropping off a bit around 1 o'clock this afternoon. So yesterday we saw some of our peak, or last night I should say, we saw some of our peak wind gusts at Kyle Canyon of 33 miles per hour. Tule Springs was at 26 miles per hour. Boulder City, Red Rock, Henderson Airport, all around 22 to 23 miles per hour. In the McCarran, we saw that 20 mile per hour gusts. What we will continue to see today is those Vegas Valley gusts up to about 23 miles per hour. It's going to be the chilly 50s all week, and whenever we have those north breezes, it definitely makes things feel a bit cooler. We will see those near freezing overnight lows, so you want to make sure you cover your pipes, bring your pets inside, and then we'll have some rain chances that return by next Thursday. I'll have much more on all of this coming up in my full Weather Now forecast in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. Today, TopGolf is joining the drive to help victims of the California wildfires. Starting at 9 a.m., they're taking donations, including tents and air mattresses, along with everyday essentials like diapers and toiletries. Las Vegas is the final stop for U-Haul trucks driving to TopGolf locations across the country. Again, that's 9 a.m. at TopGolf. The trucks are expected to leave by 3 p.m. This weekend, the Valley community hit the streets to beat lung cancer. More than 200 people attended this year's Lung Force Walk in Henderson. Together, they raised more than $70,000 for cancer research. Lung Force Walks are a signature fundraising event for the American Lung Association. They use inspiring music and a fun, supportive vibe to encourage lung health.
I'm so fortunate to have my mother here with me and living here, and she's a testament of what the fundraising does, because she was on a lot of the experimental drugs, a lot of the experimental treatments in the beginning. And if it wasn't for the fundraising, not just here in Vegas, but all over, she wouldn't be able to go in some of those programs and wouldn't have been able to have been having those medications. So it's very important. You just don't know how far this thing reaches everybody.
The American Lung Association's next big fundraiser in Nevada is Scale the Strat. That happens at the iconic Stratosphere Tower in February. Registration is already open, and we've posted a link on our website, lasvegasnow.com, under the links we mentioned section. Last night, UNLV welcomed former Vice President Joe Biden. He was the keynote speaker for UNLV's law school's 20-year celebration. A main focus was the call for change in our political system in what he called the rise of alien strains in American politics damaging our democracy. Biden has a long history with Nevada lawmakers, including former Senator Harry Reid, who wasn't able to be there because of an illness.
Harry's been my friend for a long, long time. You know Harry incredibly well. He has a will of steel, a backbone like a ramrod, and the most important thing about him is he's absolute a man of his word. Whatever he says, he does. And he has an abundance of what Americans in both parties are looking for in their leaders, in both parties: character.
Biden also paid his respects to former President George H.W. Bush, who died on Friday at the age of 94.
We're on opposite sides of the political fence. I served the entire time he was president. I've been there with 8 presidents and as an elected official, and none had more class and a greater sense of decency than President Bush. We went through.
Mr. Biden actually had to cut his visit short because he's heading to Boston today, and that's to deliver the eulogy for the former president. And President George H.W. Bush will be honored on Wednesday with a state funeral in Washington, D.C. He'll then be laid to rest on the grounds of his presidential library at Texas A&M University on Thursday. But this weekend, flower wreaths were placed on the gates of the Bush home in Houston. Starting tomorrow evening, Mr. Bush will lie in the state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. A state funeral is a 7 to 10-day event with ceremonies taking place in the former president's home state as well as in Washington, D.C. The world stopped this weekend to remember those we've lost to HIV and AIDS. Coming up, how Valley medical officials plan to curb future cases and keep our residents safe. Plus, the lawsuit putting a strain on marijuana distribution licenses is no more. How the Nevada Supreme Court came to their decision, that's coming up in just a few minutes.